What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm bringing you guys my UFC pairs predictions. Another card I'm going to have to wake up and watch super early in the morning, but that's alright. This week we got Ciryl Gane taking on Sergei Spivak in our main event, with the co-main featuring Rose Namajunas and Manon Fiorot. So yeah, pretty good event, and I'm actually pretty excited for this one. So this card's very top heavy, and there's only really a couple fights on the prelims that I want to shout out. And that's Farid Basharat, who's taking on Clayton Rodriguez, and Jocelyn Edwards taking on Nora Cormol. And these fights, I think, will both be very good, to be honest. I think they'll be fun matchups, and I'm excited to see them go down. The rest of the card, though, on the prelims anyways, is a little lackluster, but who knows? We could be surprised. So let's get on to the main card now, and there's honestly really only 3 matchups that I'm super interested in here, and that's Benoit Saint-Denis, the co-main, and the main. So, I mean, Volkan Ozdemir's fighting, but it's just kind of whatever at this point. He takes on Bogdan Guskov. We'll see how that one goes for him. And William Gomes is taking on Lucas Almeida. So that one actually should be a pretty fun fight as well. But yeah, besides that, I'm only going to really focus on the last 3 fights that I mentioned for this breakdown. So let's get into it. First up, let's take a look at Benoit Saint-Denis and Thiago Moises. So these are 2 super well-rounded lightweights that honestly haven't gotten their cracks at the top 15 yet, but could put themselves in this position when they do end up fighting here. Both guys are super well-rounded. They fought a lot of very tough opponents in the division, and they're honestly just both super technical fighters. Like, I honestly think this match could go either way. Thiago Moises, American top team, you know what he's going to bring. He has the jiu-jitsu, and his striking isn't horrible either. I think he would probably favor his jiu-jitsu in this fight, but who really knows? I mean, he could try and take this anywhere. Benoit Saint-Denis himself is also very well-rounded. He went out and submitted Ismail Bonfim last time out, and no one expected that. So you know this guy's serious business too. If I had to pick right now, honestly, Saint-Denis just impressed me so much, and I could see him getting it done in front of the home fans. So I'm going to go with Saint-Denis to win this one. I think he may even knock out Thiago Moises, but we'll see. I think he will just probably get a comfortable decision win. Moving on to the co-main event now, and we have Rose Namajunas taking on Manon Fiorot. And this is going to be a pretty interesting fight. I'm excited to see how Rose can do now up a weight class, and Fiorot's no joke. Undefeated in the UFC. She's coming off 3 decision wins against worthy opponents as well, like Caitlin Chukagian, Jennifer Maia, Mayra Bueno Silva, who just beat Holly Holm. So there's definitely a lot of things to be excited for with this fight. So we haven't seen Rose Namajunas since May of last year, when she had that abysmal performance against Carla Esparza. And I think she went away now, took some time, and really tried to figure out what went wrong in that fight for her and how to rekindle that spark in her again. And she's moved up a weight class, so maybe that'll give her some help. Although she has beaten Weili before, so why not try and challenge for the flyweight belt again? It just seemed a little weird. It just seemed like she couldn't beat Esparza, which is fine. But Weili, when she fought Carla, she destroyed her. So maybe that fight will go differently again, but I'm not sure. I think Rose would still have a pretty good chance. Anyways, moving on to this fight now. It's 2 ladies who are great strikers, and Fiorot's going to be not scared to engage with Rose in this one at all. She's very technical and could really use her leg kicks to her advantage in this fight against Rose. Rose, though, also super technical. It's honestly a really tough one to predict. Question is, will the power be too much in this division for Rose? It's tough to say, but honestly, I think if Rose is going to get it done here, she's going to have to finish Fiorot. I think Fiorot, she's going to have the fans behind her. She has a good gas tank, and she's a very good striker. I think Rose is going to have to use her grappling in this one a lot more than some of her previous matchups in order to get the job done. So my final pick is going to end up being Rose Namajunas to get the job done. I think she might have just enough to do it. I think she's going to want to make a big statement and prove that she's still one of the biggest female stars in the UFC. And there's no other better way of doing that than knocking out Furiat in front of the home crowd there. So I'm going to tip her to get it done, and we'll see what happens. Moving on now to the main event, where we have Ciryl Gane making his return against Sergei Spivak. Last time we saw Mr. Ciryl Gane, it was in a loss to Jon Jones at his debut at heavyweight, and Ciryl put on a pretty lackluster performance. He couldn't offer Jon anything on the ground and wasn't able to keep him on the feet for very long. Jon ended up getting a submission off within. Ciryl fought in Paris last year against Tai Tuivasa, where he put on an excellent performance and had the home fans absolutely buzzing. So this time around, he's going to want to try and do the same thing. In front of him, though, he has a tough opponent in Sergei Spivak. Spivak's coming off a submission victory against Derek Lewis, and in this matchup here, he's going to be wanting to do the same thing. He's going to try and take Ciryl down. I think everybody in the division now knows that that's where Ciryl's weakness is, and who knows how much training Ciryl's really been doing with his wrestling. So we even knew in the Francis fight that his wrestling wasn't good. And going into a fight against Jon Jones, you'd hope he would have trained wrestling a lot more, considering Jon's a better wrestler than Francis and will probably favor that aspect of the fight. So what happened? He didn't. He didn't really seem to have trained. He didn't get better, and it actually looked even more embarrassing than it did against Francis. So let's see if this time around he really decided to grapple a lot more, because he's once again fighting a wrestler. The thing Gane has here is he's very quick, and Spivak isn't the quickest of heavyweights. So as long as Ciryl can piece him up quick enough on the feet in order to keep him at bay and avoid those takedowns, he should do pretty all right. So ultimately, though, I think Ciryl will be the one to get the job done in this fight. I think he will be able to keep Spivak at bay and just pick him apart slowly and ultimately pick up a KO or TKO finish. I don't see this going 25 minutes. It's a heavyweight fight. Just doesn't happen usually. So yeah, that's how I see it going. I think Gane is prone to letting overarching shots catch him sometimes. We saw in the Tuivasa fight that Tai was able to catch him with some crazy bombastic shots. So if that can happen again in this fight, maybe Spivak can catch the edge on him. But ultimately, I just think Spivak's too slow for him. And I don't think the wrestling will be enough in this fight. I don't think he's going to be able to get to Ciryl and get his hands around him, because Ciryl's just way too quick and a very strong and powerful guy himself. So yeah, I'm going to end up taking Ciryl Gane. It should be a good night, and it should be a good card overall. So there you guys have it. That's going to do it for another breakdown. I'm excited for this card this weekend. I am going to be posting parlays closer to the fight, so be on the lookout for that on Instagram and on Shorts. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching another one of my videos. Be on the lookout. There's going to be a lot more videos being regularly posted throughout the week, so stay tuned for those as well. And yeah, take care.